Good morning. Today is the 7th of November 2024 and I'm going to go through my levels and trading plan for today. Before we do, let's see what news could move the market today. 8:30 we had jobless claims. We didn't see much of a movement from that. And we do have FOMC, Fed rate interest rate decision, so at 2 o'clock, so we will see some big movement then, so be a bit wary if you're still trading by then. Obviously 2 o'clock and 2:30 we get the initial reaction on the interest rate decision, and then we have more volatility during the press conference at 2:30, so just be wary of that today. And then before that we don't have a great deal. Natural gas at 10:30, and that's it. Maybe keep an eye on 10 AM, there's a little bit of news but nothing of high importance. So 2 PM today is the big one, so I won't be trading at that point, but I may just come down. I'll probably sit there and watch the market, enjoy the show. So on my screen we're currently looking at the ES, and this is the S&P 500 E-mini futures, and we're currently on the 1 hour time frame. Not a great deal of levels to watch really. There's only one level I can see, and this is this area confluence just there at 59.53. So if we pull back into that region, I'll be looking for a bounce and to go long. Hard to go short on such a strong move up. On high volume as well, but it's not as much volume as we've had previously, so I'm not worried about it being ending volume just yet. The only other trade I can see is a breakout into all-time highs, and really want to watch for a break and then a retest back down into the pre-market high for the long. Potential target, we've got 6,000 above. This is a psychological number, a nice big fat round number as well, and so maybe watch that. That is potentially an area we can watch for shorts. Let's just put in a level there. Wrong button. So, oh, hang on. Let's clear that. Let's get it out of my pen. Go back into TradingView. I use hotkeys on my keyboard, and for some reason, Alt. Oh, interesting. Let's add it in. Do it the hard way. Alt H. That's what I was pressing. Alt H. Oh, here we go. So now it's working. Something a bit strange going on. But anyway, let's watch 6,000. That's our potential rejection area. If we get up that area, if we get up that high, we are quite far from it, so I'm not too fussed about watching it yet. But that is the next real rejection area we can watch. And obviously we're a long way from 5,000, so it's a big psychological number. Let's see what happened when we got to 5,000. When we hit 5,000. Going all the way back down to here, 5,050. We're going back beginning of the year. $5,000 is there. Let's draw that line in so we can see it. Here we go. I know we did. So it's about a year ago we lost. So here we go, so you can see what happened. We came up to 5,000, we rejected it, came up to it, broke through, a bit of a fake breakout, rejected it 3 times before we finally broke it. Didn't really retest it since. So you can see lots of volume in that area as well, the 5,000 area, so lots and lots of volume. So just out of curiosity, we can probably treat it the same as when we hit 5,000, look for a rejection. That's it really. So just basically 2 plays today. It's the break and retest of the pre-market high, long, and then the bounce down here. Be nice to see a nice bit of a pullback back down to there. So if we do pull back, then we've got 5900, which is a good area to watch for a few days ago, or 5913, this region here. In fact, probably watch the same area we bounced from a few days, where was that, yesterday. So let's just move that up a bit. In fact, that's probably a better place. So 59 59.50, psychological number 59.50, came into it. That's a great long I took yesterday. I think that was, what time was that? Yeah, but just after the market open, and then it lines up with this area of confluence, tops of these pivots here as well. So 5900 is our bounce point. So let's just get rid of some of these other locations. Not watching them now. That's it, and just try and keep things as tidy as possible as well. If we do sell off, then we've got this upward trailing 50 moving average, this red line, and 5900 would be in the same place we're coming into. We've got an area of demand as well, this grey area, which might not be demand anymore, but we did come into it and bounce, so we can still watch it, respect it, and we have the break out of this trend line, probably invalid now, but it retested it there, come back down, then broke through, came back, retested it there, come back, and maybe we could see a retest around that area as well. So basically 3 levels we're watching for. Just to confirm, we're going to watch 59, this area, this region here, for a bounce. We can consider the region above as well, but this is this main area here for a bounce. We're going to watch this region 59.50, 59.53 for a bounce, and then we're looking for a break and retest of the pre-market high, and that's all I'm watching. And obviously if we get up into the 6,000 area, probably not today, then we can keep an eye on that for a potential rejection. Order flow, let's flick across the order flow while we're here. Yesterday was a very strange day for order flow. In fact, I did a, let me just open up I did a screenshot of the order flow in my trade database. I keep a on my Google Drive, I like to keep screenshots of anything interesting, so order flow, and I try and do as much as I can, because it just, then I can just go through. We're looking at cumulative delta. I always mark up the I need to, in fact, let's get rid of that one because that's now invalid because I updated it to this one, election day cumulative delta. And I highly recommend everyone do this. Make a database of anything of significance, anything you're watching, any screenshots you want to make. So this is yesterday. You can see we had the price was coming down, coming into was that the cash open 9:30 just here. So 9:30 when the market opens. So price was coming down, cumulative delta was coming down, that matched it as well perfectly. And then market opened 9:30. This was an area where I went long just there. I think if it's just after 9:30, so it's a decent trade, nice trade up there. And then price started rising, but look what happened. Cumulative delta was still declining, and there's a little bit of rise, which is why I kind of kept my long. But as soon as I saw cumulative delta coming down, I trailed out. I think I got out at 3R, which was around about this area, and then I also got out, well, my break even was way down here. I think I got out on that pivot there when he broke that pivot the second time, so my out was there, so a little bit better than breaking. So decent trade. On hindsight, I should have got out on the break of this trend. That's the trend there, if we were to draw that in. But I was watching the order flow and watching cumulative delta. Cumulative delta was still declining, and then look at this. So we did have a little bit of decline, and then the price just kept going up. But cumulative delta from that same time just kept going down, and that is a really good sign of accumulation and absorption as well. So this is what I'm looking for when I'm looking for reversals. And the moment we stop declining, so this is basically lots of aggressive sellers selling into the market. Oh, hang on, I think, have I got my screenshot open? No. Sorry about that, I flipped over to the screen. Let's go back. Thank you, I just saw your comment. Charles. I'll start again. So this is a screenshot I took yesterday, the 6th of November, and you can see here the price. I like to draw pivot to pivot basically. The price was declining and the cumulative delta was declining. That all looks okay as expected. It's a big drop down, so we didn't seem just slightly not quite in tune with the direction, but it was elections and the market was a bit in a funny state yesterday. Cash opened at 9:30 just here, and then we saw the price starting to push up. So a little bit of a push up on the open about 10 AM. We had news, I think that was at 10 AM, and then cumulative delta just started declining. So look what happened, cumulative delta declining, price declining, and that was as expected. So we've had a bit of a cumulative delta divergence because we didn't see an increase of cumulative delta there, so we knew something was up. And then price just starting to put in higher highs and higher lows, and then cumulative delta was just constantly selling and selling and selling. So this was aggressive sellers. Start again. So this is buyers basically accumulating. So this is a zone of accumulation, and we see the aggressive selling on the cumulative delta candles, and we're basically absorbing this level, this area, and been absorbing this region here, which is between 59.10 all the way up to about to that pivot there, which is 59.40. So this $30 region was being absorbed by buyers, and then notice then the turn of cumulative delta. As soon as we started having a negative cumulative delta, we had a bit of a big cumulative delta candle, green candle, and then look what happened. And we could really line it up. Let's just draw a line from there, so that candle there. Link those two up, and you can see as soon as we saw that big green, the price started going up as well with it, and the cumulative delta started increasing as well. And you could have taken this buy setup just there and you could have made a decent trade for the rest of the day. That was 12:30 Eastern time. I'm done trading by then. I'm only looking to trade the first hour, maybe 2 hours of the day. But this is exactly what you look for. This is a sign of accumulation, where this price has been accumulated by the buyers, and then suddenly the sellers were exhausted at the bottom. And if you looked at some order flow prints, you probably saw some low amount of sellers in that region here, and then the buyers just took over, and then that's when the price started increasing. So that was a good sign. I will take it as a pinch of salt because it was election day as well, and the market was doing some strange things, but this is a perfect example of what I look for in that bottom right screen. Price divergence and accumulation and cumulative delta divergence. So this is a divergence there. You can see quite clearly the difference. So I just thought I'd give you that example, and again, you probably didn't see this is my trade database. So I keep a trade database of all of my different setups, what I'm looking for, and then I can just refer back to this at any time. So order flows, what I look at a lot. I've got absorption, cumulative delta, imbalances, single digit weak and buying sellers, plus some general just ones I don't have a folder for, and I like to keep a database of all of my setups, and anything I see just take a screenshot, mark it up as well. Head and shoulders, these are one of my favourites. That's not a very good example. It's empty, probably because it's one of my favourites. I see the pattern a lot. That's just my reminder to put them in there. Potentially there's some head and shoulders in that last folder before I started reorganising it. And then I've got break and retest of pre-market as well, one of my other favourite trades I look for. So I'll just open up the first one as an example. Hopefully I've marked it up. I don't mark them always up, I just put them in. Okay, so here we go, classic example of a break and test of pre-market. So I'm assuming the pre-market was about here. I don't have any levels on here, so I can't see, or potentially there. You can see it broke it, retested, and then broke out. And it could even be this. It could even be this section here. Look at this volume point of control. This is what I look for as well. it was consolidating. Notice that the reducing volume, real small volume as well, and then boom, breakout. So whether you had your stop there and you were waiting for the breakout of these candles, you see the moving averages close together, and then we had bigger volume come in, and you could have just taken, potentially you could have taken that play there, the breakout of that candle, and you could have run out for the rest of the day. Pretty sure, I can't remember when was this. Oh, over a year ago. This is, I'm pretty sure the pre-market high was probably around this area, because I normally only take my trades in the first couple of hours. But that's what I'm looking for, and I've got better over the years of marking things up. Can I see any probably not sure what I've marked up on here. Okay, so I've marked this up. This is my entry. So break and retest a pre-market high. So that's the pre-market high there at 8:30. I do generally try to show the bigger range. On my pre-market highs, I start from about 3 AM. So I generally don't consider anything before 3 AM pre-market high. And you can see it broke it. It came back to retest. Not the greatest. There's a much better entry. And then I went long, as you can see here, with my stop below these bottom tails. The better entry was the proper break and retest, and that was the break of the pre-market high conclusively broken, and then the pullback. And what I like about this second entry is I call it an air gap. There's a big gap there, and here there's no gap. It just literally broke out, come back in. But this is my preferred one. This is my bread and butter one. I take this all the time whenever I see it. The breakout. The pullback, look at that, pullback right into the pre-market high area, exactly what we're looking for. So you could have put your stop there, and your stop there, entry there. Would have been quite a big risk to reward. That is an easy 2R there. You could have even used 50% of this candle maybe, to give you even better risk to reward as well. So that would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, easy 5R trade. So. But you can see 5R on this one as well was easily obtainable as well, but this is a higher risk one because there's no air gap, and it's the air gap I like on my pre-market highs. And also got to be above the 50 moving average on the same chart, so in the right trend. I also like it above the 20 and the 50 on the hourly as well, so I know then we're playing with the trend. So this is a good example. When was this? This was October. Not too long ago, so last month, 11th of October 2010, so last month. So that's a decent one, so it's worth keeping an eye on all of your trades. So let's go back to the levels for today. Sorry about I kind of went off on one there. Still putting in new highs, so again really prefer the pullback to that level, or preferably the pullback down to this level. So moving on to SPY, and we were looking at order flow, so let's go back to that again. So order flow, that's right, that's why I kind of went off on a tangent, because we're looking for cumulative delta divergences. So we've got nothing really happening here. You've got increase in cumulative delta, increase in price, all looking a bit normal. Notice over here we've got all of these point of controls, so that could potentially act as a bounce point if we're looking for a long, and we were looking for a break and retest, weren't we, to 59.53, that area, 59, yeah, so not until we get way down here. So all these point of controls next to each other could act as support, so you may find it hard to break down. And look at these red lines as well, so we've got orders sitting there as well, just above this point of controls. So that's potential limit orders waiting to trigger. It's either pullbacks or profit taken. So nothing really to see just yet. Everything's doing exactly what you expect it to do. Okay, back to my main screen. I have to remember to keep flicking back. Next up is SPY. I'll be quick, so I know we've only got about 10 minutes left. SPY is exactly the same. If we can pull back to 590 area, watch out for a bounce. Or preferably, I like this area as well, 585.50, 586, preferably because there's also a volume shelf to the left acting as natural support. So this region here for a bounce, and we bounced there as well yesterday, so watch that. SPX levels are pretty much the same apart from the new ones we're putting in right now. Again, we've got 6,000 above. Let's mark that one off. For future, again, we only want to go long, watch for the bounce on ES or SPY. If SPX is above this area here, if it pulls back, we don't want it to be below that area. So if it pulls back into this region, we want SPX to also bounce at the same time. Same with rejections. We haven't got any rejections apart from 6,000. So if ES is below this and SPX is above it, then it'd be hard to go short because it's a psychological number and a potential bounce rather than rejection. NQ is looking weaker than QQQ still. This is all-time highs above, I believe. Where's that coming back from? July. Was that last all-time high? It's amazing that, yeah, July. It's amazing that everything's made all-time highs, but Nasdaq hasn't yet. So we've got this potential area we can watch for a double top. I don't like rejecting all-time highs, but that's a potential double top for a rejection. That's a pattern. Otherwise, same as before, we can watch for the bounce at 20,745, which is that pivot there. Or we can look for the break and retest over pre-market high. Let's go in a little bit closer. And the area confluence is not quite as clear on here. And in fact, the only area I like, higher risk bounce there at 2870, but I prefer this area down here at 2750. Excuse me. I'm a little bit under the weather, so I've got a bit of a cold. QQQ. Okay, I've already marked the area. Quite like the bounce. 505. If we pull back down into that region. Otherwise, 501 is a bounce area. You've got these two levels here, so anywhere between 501 to 500. 500 being a psychological number as well. And then rejection, we're in all-time highs, so nothing really to reject really. We'll look for trend entries. Oil, we were watching this region yesterday, 72.80. We didn't quite get there, but we rejected exactly where we rejected the previous day, and then couldn't put in a new high. Still not a big fan of this chart. It's still a bit messy. So we can still continue to watch this region here for the rejection. 72.50 all the way up, 72.80 area to 73. We've got this region here as well, which is probably not valid anymore because we've broken through, rejected, and finally we broke it. We did come back to retest it short, but couldn't have any follow through. So let's keep an eye on the next regions where the volume is to the left. Let's keep an eye on this region here at 70.50 for a bounce. And then gold sold off massively, big time yesterday. Look at that for a sell-off. I don't play fibs that much, but if we did, then the 50% will be probably around here. Happens to be, let's get the fibs tool out. There you go, we're at the 50% mark just there. I was pretty close when I said it's about there. It's not bad, that's eyeballing it. Makes it stronger now because A, it's a level, 7200, 7207, pivot, tops there, bottoms there, and it's 50% fibs level as well. And lots of algos will be watching this area for rejection. And we've also got the 50 moving average, which is this red line coming into that region as well. So there's a few confirmations why and a few good reasons why I want to try a short there. Just keep an eye on that really for the short, and then if we come back down to this region we can watch for a bounce. And if the 50% don't work, we've got this area up there 27, 30 area. Big area of confluence. Look at that, bottoms of pivots there. Retest there, we broke down through it, came back up and retested that region. This is a great head and shoulders pattern, by the way. And then we sold off. So one of my favourites. I'll have to screenshot this. Prefer it on a daily, but this would be a swing trade head and shoulders pattern. So we've got the left shoulder here, subject to where you want it to start and stop. Obviously you can see the head, and then you've got the right shoulder, depends where you want to see the right shoulder. We broke down below, came back up and retested the shoulder, lost it, came back up, retested that neckline area there as well. So depends where you want your neckline. My neckline would have been at this level here, retest and sold off. So a great swing trade would be catching it there, but there was a lot going on yesterday and I totally missed it. But great pattern, and I'll definitely take a screenshot of that in a sec. RTY, look at that inside candle on that last hourly. A bit messy at the top. Pretty much RSI, like all the others, are very much overbought. Massive amounts of volume, and it's the biggest amount of volume when you compare it to all the previous ones, potentially ending volume. So let's see what happens. Again, you can use the fibs either from there to get you 50%, which will probably be around about that there. That could be a bounce area, happens to be a level as well. Okay, I'm going to have to prove myself, see how good my fibs by eye level is. Oh, look at that, absolutely spot on again. Not hard, I know, but there you go. It happens to be a level there, so that's a good bounce area. 23.05, 23.10 for the bounce, and it's the 50% fibs since we had that move up. Yeah, so keep an eye on that one. YM. Again, I'm not going to do the fibs, so you can work that out. But it's a level by the looks of it. A volume shelf. This area here. Area of confluence, bottoms of candles. And we bounced. Sorry, we rejected it once, so we know that's a level in play. Before we push through, big volume. So if we come back that down, and look at that, also 43,000. Psychological number as well, so 43,000 bounce. That's the only level to watch really. Or break and retest long. I do quite like this one, looking a lot cleaner than the previous chart. We can also watch for the bounce here, and I like it because it's 43,600 area, psychological number. We held it a little bit there, we couldn't fall down below. Also look at the volume, big volume shelf as well. So not the point of control, but a volume, area of volume. And then finally Bitcoin, excuse me, I added again to this yesterday. Where did I add? It was on the pullback. It was there. That's my add point yesterday, so decent area, pull back into that level. Profit rise, when do I want to take profit? I don't know. If it breaks back down below that, I might undo my add and just take it out at break even. But hopefully we'll see a break and retest of this level here. We're kind of right there right now. We see it push up again. Hang on. Got a bit of a dry throat. So we're pretty much there really. Order flows doing the same, nothing unusual. I'm also watching a couple others I've added to my bucket, my basket. The FTSE 100. Only because I want to start doing some trading in the UK in the morning, and so I'll watch it for a few months, get to learn it, put my levels in, like I've done with all the others. I've learned all of these for the past year, maybe 2 years, and then also the German 100 as well, or the German 40 I meant, sorry. So, and these are pretty, look how nice these moves are, daily moves, so I do quite like the look of these. So I'm going to start learning these and play these 9 AM UK time. Unfortunately my kids go to school at 8 AM when the market opens, and that's when I'm taking my kids to school, so I missed the first hour. But if I can pick up some trend continuation moves, you can see the nice trends here, then I will do. And that's it. Just quickly recap ES, because these are the ones I'm watching mainly today. just breaking out into new all-time highs again during the pre-market. So watching for the bounce at 59.50 area, 59.53, this area here for the bounce. Watching for a high probability bounce down at 5900. It's also part of a trend line. We bounced there yesterday. And psychological number as well, so better place, higher probability bounce, and we've got the 50 moving average coming into that area as well. That's my preferred bounce if we do see a bit of market weakness today and we sell off. Otherwise, and being that we are so extended and it's higher risk as well, we can watch for the break and retest of pre-market high. 6,000 looked quite far away earlier, but we're only 20 points from that, so maybe watching 6,000 for the rejection. And that's it. Okay, market opens. I was already open, so I will be back tomorrow, 9 AM. Okay, thank you for watching.